he thinks that we need to redo something or change or something, he will let us know.
So like, who's the boss here? Who's the boss? Justin, you're the boss?
He's
okay.
going to boss us around.
I understand the assignment, sir.
What do you want, man?
You
want
sit
to
on her
my
lap?
That's me bucking authority.
Wow.
My gosh, he has to edit a lot of crap.
I have to edit one person in here a lot.
Actually, that could be either of us, so please be specific.
Yeah, which one?
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. Hold on, cut that out.
Sorry. You can ramble all you want.
Now I have to start over.
Sorry.
He's nervous. He's going to cut that out, and it's going to be perfect.
Pause. I'm going to pause you. You're going to take this out.
I think we need to make a jingle.
Oh, the pressure is high, man. No.
Come
no.
on.
Cybersecurity.
Yeah, do what?
I got her to do that. Happy cybersecurity. Don't put that in.
Do not put that in.
Yeah. I will get so much hate. I'll probably get egged on the street.
You absolutely not.
Don't put that in. Turn off the mic.
Welcome to another episode of the Canokla Chatter.
I'm Tim.
I'm Leah.
We spoke with Kelsey Weems today, who works with Impact Bank. Spoke about red flags, trusting your gut, and things you should do to protect yourself from scams.
I know that I learned a lot, so hopefully we'll all be a little more safe in the future. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Can you kind of introduce yourself and tell us how you became passionate about cybercrime?
My name is Kelsey Weems. I work at Impact Bank, and just one of the things, my job titles is dealing with all of the fraud, and I really enjoy it.
How long have you been at Impact Bank?
Yeah, how long have you been there?
12 years.
12 years?
12 years.
Didn't you take over for Susie when she retired?
Yes, Susie was my mentor. She taught me all the things.
I thought.
She did.
Yes.
All Suze and her Dr. Peppers.
As you know, October is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, hence all these fun podcasts.
Yes.
From your perspective, why is this especially important in our small town communities and like for small local banks and their customers?
I think it's really cool that you guys are doing this. And I think that the importance of it all is like just getting more education and giving knowledge to people so that they won't become a victim.
Do you see an age group that it specifically hits?
Yes and no to that. So with the older generation, I really believe they still believe in that handshake as is the word, is the gospel, is the truth. That handshake that means something. So with the older generation, the scams that they fall for are your phone calls when you actually get that person on the other end of the line that they truly believe is speaking truth. With the younger generation, they have been so used to having a device in their hand for so long and that instant gratification. The scams that they fall for is the links that you just have to click, or the text message scams, or I think, and don't get me wrong, all age groups are all victims and they all fall for all of them. But I would say that the reason the older generation falls for certain scams is because they're trusting. And the reason that the younger generation falls for the scams is because it's boom, boom, boom. They don't really necessarily think it through because it's that instant gratification that you have in your hand.
Yeah.
Do you think you get to be a little more candid with customers when they come in to where maybe they're not coming in to report an issue or even to talk to you about something? Do you get to be more candid because you have more conversation one-on-one or
Absolutely.
About their lives?
Anything rural, you get more of the personal touch, I guess. But we have so many customers that know my cell phone number. It's in their phone. They'll call me on a Sunday and say, hey, this just happened. What do I need to do? I've had people show up at my door on Christmas Eve because they fell victim to a scam and we got his debit card turned off, all the things. Yeah, I think it's a lot easier because there's more of a comfort. One thing about victims with fraud or scam is they're almost embarrassed. And I can completely understand that you just let somebody into your computer, you just gave somebody your account number. There is a sense of embarrassment. But I think that those same people that I'm having the conversation with are also the people that are behind me at pickup for school, or they sit beside me in church, or I see them at the grocery store. So I think the comfort level is really, really important on being able to have those conversations. And we do. When people come in, we just tried to explain how frauds work and make it so that it's not a scary conversation.
Take away that shame, the embarrassment.
You know, I think of people my parents' age. My dad is retired, and he might hear this and think, well, it's not just us. And it's not.
It's not.
It is every age group. They're targeting everyone. I can see where someone might be more susceptible the older they are, like if they're just used to answering the phone calls, like you mentioned, or teenagers in this. But I found this statistic that it has grown for people 60 and up, 43% from 2023 to 2024 in the 60 plus age group.
I can absolutely believe that.
But there has been growth overall in an increase in losses from 2023 to 2024, because 2025 is not out yet. That's 33%. So they're just 10% higher in that age group than the overall average. So I just wanted to bring up that we're not targeting a certain age group here. Right. It is everyone that needs to be more aware.
It absolutely is. I mean, it is all across the board. Scam doesn't have an age preference.
They're just going to be a little different. Like you said in the beginning, like older is going to be that handshake.
I mean, your grandparents or your parents aren't going to be the ones that click a link,
right? Yeah,
and give all that information, because that's not normal in their world. But it is for the younger generation. But yeah, I think scam affects everybody.
We've talked about this internally and with others. Scams are evolving every day. They're using your personal information, Facebook information. Some of these big ones are buying your information. What are some ones that you're seeing currently, or have there been any ones that you stop and think, wow, that's new?
Yeah. So one of the latest scams is, I don't know if you guys heard about the Kansas Toll Association and the scam that happened there. So one thing that I want your listeners to understand, I think that if you understand how a fraud starts or how the scam actually starts, you'll be more reluctant. That's not the right word.
Aware?
You'll be more aware. Look at me trying to use big words. I think you'll be more aware of what you're doing when you give your information. So right now on any cell phone, you can put your debit card in the wallet. Okay? So if you want to go purchase something online and it has the Apple Pay to where you've already got your debit card on your phone, you can just click that and it automatically pays. The tap to pay, you can use your phone. You don't physically have to have the card in your hand or on your possession to do anything hardly anymore. So the way that the Kansas Toll Association scam worked is they sent you a text message and it said, you have an unpaid balance of $4. And that seems legit. They were doing all of their new stuff and transferring to their new website and all the things. So that made sense to people. So you go in there, you give them your information. You've given them your debit card number in totality, your CVV, and your expiration date. What we're seeing is they are going and putting all of that information on their device of their phone. And now they are able to do anything and everything they want because they have it on their device. The same way that you can purchase anything on your phone, now it's on their phone.
Wow.
And that's super scary.
That is scary.
And so that's been the latest, and it's very, very smart. That's genius.
Yeah.
Super scary smart, but that is the biggest one. If people understood the moment you give your information, your debit card, your account number, your social security, anything, you have just given custody of that to whoever you assume is on the other end of the line. And that's the moment that they take your money. They don't wait 10 minutes to see if it works. They get right to work right after you give them that information.
Right. I bought something online. So I went to like a website.
Temu.
No. Anyway, and I buy a lot of my stuff with my Apple Pay. But now I've never actually used it on a website where they have the black button where you push it, and I didn't know this. It filled in my address.
Yes.
It filled in my phone number. It filled in all of that. I didn't know that was a thing. So I mean, that's kind of scary too to think about that. If they're getting that, then they're probably getting all that other information as well. So
we get notification when Apple ID or you're putting your cards on your wallet, and we call customers and say, hey, did you do this? Because we want to make sure that it was indeed you. And there's just a whole bunch of things that we have to do on the back side of things to help prevent customers from getting scammed.
I've had those moments where I might be complaining, like, why is my bank so slow in posting these charges? And you just want it faster and faster and faster. But does that kind of work against banks to prevent anything, to stop all of these like criminals coming from all angles? Because you want to make customers like me who want it so fast, like, don't delay my charges or putting things in my account or anything. But does that kind of, does that play a part in?
It's kind of a double-edged sword, because we have our fraud department, I think, is pretty top notch. And if our fraud department thinks that there is a sketchy transaction that's coming through, they turn your card off and they wait for you to respond. We send a text message out. We'll call, all the things. People get really upset that their cards are turned off. And I understand it. When you're on vacation and you have no means to your money, that's scary.
Yeah.
But also, you're potentially saving customers from a lot of money coming out of their account that they wouldn't have been able to use anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it was a double-edged sword. There are people that are grateful after the fact when there was potential fraud, but then there are people that are super upset when it is their charge. And bless my husband, man, like, my job at the bank is all fraud things. And he calls me one day and he was like, hey, so did you get a new Apple phone? And he was a little condescending in his talk. Mm-hmm. And I said, I don't believe so. And he said, well, Apple just called me. Your purchase didn't go through. I was about to give him my debit card, but then I realized that your card is the one that's connected to our Apple or Amazon account. I'm like, how much was it? And he said $1,500. So you didn't give him any information? He said, I about did. But then I realized it's your card. So you need to call him and tell him that what your card information is. Praise the Lord that it wasn't his card, because it would have charged him and we would have just had to eat that money because he.
Oh, man.
Okay. So then we had to have a little talk. We had to have a little talk at the dinner table about fraud.
And also, not to start like a fight in your marriage, why would he ever think that you would purchase a phone without him knowing? Or like, that's a large purchase.
Thank you.
I mean, I make irresponsible purchases. We know that. But I know that Kelsey Weems does not make irresponsible, like offbeat purchases like that.
Mr. Weems, did you hear that?
But it's the right scam at the right time. Mm-hmm. The person is in the right frame of mind to, like, eventually we're all going to fall for it. If we don't always stay vigilant. Like, I think it's just going to happen with how much money people are losing on this. But
it's sad. It's very, very, very sad. And I always say, I just can't believe that they fell for that. And then I have my sweet, loving husband who almost did.
Almost.
He ordered something online back in 2020 for a Valentine's Day present for me. I still haven't gotten it. One thing that I encourage people to do, and it's what I do whenever I put my debit card online. If you go to the website, go out to Google and just do a small review on it. Everybody always gives negatives right now. You rarely get positives, but your negatives are going to be pretty honest with you. I paid for this item. I never got this item. I'm still waiting 5 years later for my Valentine's Day present. Go out and Google it before you use it. 9 times out of 10, you won't use that company if you go and Google it.
Have you run into like check? I know there used to be like a check where you like, they would send you a check and be like, go cash this and you keep 200 of it, but send like the 1,500 back to me.
So as I was preparing for this, I've been in banking for over 15 years, and I was thinking back to the very first types of scams and frauds, and those types of scams still exist. Yeah. We've had somebody bring in a check for $4,500. Pepsi sent them a check in the mail to wrap their car in Pepsi logo. And all they had to do was deposit the check and then send $2,500 back to Pepsi to get all of the materials.
Oh, man.
And it's really hard to convince somebody sometimes that is not legit.
Right.
It's really hard. Give your bank grace when they ask you questions. When people bring in big checks, We're doing it because we care about you. We don't want you to be out that money. And so we ask a lot of nosy questions. What are you going to do with this money? Where did you get this money? Did you expect this money? And I think that people get frustrated with us for that as well, just because we are being incredibly invasive, but it's only for your own good.
Protection.
Like, we just want to make sure that it's a legit check and you're not going to be out $4,500 in 10 days, you know? And then just one last thing, I guess, I want to be very, very clear when we were discussing the scams and the different types of scenarios that can happen and how to prevent it and all of the things. The link where you clicked the link and gave all the information for the Kansas Toll Association, that's the name of it now. The next scam could be USPS, which is another scam where they say that you're shipping, you need to be charged 40 more cents for shipping. The name is always going to change, but the foundation of the scam will always, always, always be the same. Mm-hmm. So I just want to be very, very clear with the people that are listening that, yes, today it's the Kansas Toll Association, but there are so many different types of, I even printed some scams off that are just, but maybe we should save that for the meeting that everybody's going to come to.
Were there any that you were surprised or that you read over in that list that you thought, wow, this is going to come up
They all seem
in the
pretty.
bank? This is
No, it's all the same foundation of a scam.
So what are some of the most common red flags that someone should stop and think that maybe this doesn't look right?
I truly believe that your gut. We have so many people that come into the bank after they have given information or they hung up on them and they said, I just don't feel right about this. And 99% of the time, all the time, once they get done with the scam or they have fallen victim of a scam, it is, I knew something wasn't right. You just need to trust your gut. If it feels icky, hang up. You are not obligated to be on the phone with anybody. That is not, whoever calls you, you are not obligated to stay on the phone with them. Hang up.
And if they start threatening you, that's a huge
and
thing. That's happened a lot.
One of the things, several years ago, we had a lady come in and she had fallen victim to fraud. They were threatening her on the phone. And thankfully, we were able to get everything stopped before it all went through. But they had gotten her so worked up thinking that she was going to get arrested because she had an unpaid bill. And so just hang up. Call us at the bank. I say this for my financial institution. I think anybody at Impact Bank would be more than willing to sit down and talk to you and give you knowledge on what is and what isn't a fraud or if it's a scam. Most banks would much rather see their customers not go through a situation like this. So talk to your bank, call your banker and say, even if it's on a weekend and you're distraught, because most banks now have a mobile app on everybody's phone that they can go in and turn the card off instantly. Some people don't know how to do that, but yeah, that would be the number one red flag is your gut. I also would like to point out, paid for by Canokla and Impact Bank. Several years ago, Canokla and Impact Bank joined together and we had a little meeting down at Picarna. And I think it was just a night of just education on, we had a lot of people show up. There was open dialogue. I even learned something about I think it was you that taught about on an email and click to see who it's from. And if that makes sense, that was, I just thought it was very educational. We should do that again. Mm-hmm. We should. But one of the things that Canokla made is, are you being scammed? It's a magnet that we give out to customers and it says, first, hang up the phone. Second, did you give out any personal information? So anytime somebody does fall victim to a scam, the very first thing that any bank employee is going to ask you is, what information did you give? Because like I said, once you give that to them, you've just given custody of everything. So do not give any personal information. If you're feeling icky about it, hang up the phone. If you're on the online and you think that it feels icky, don't give any more information. Once you give it, it's gone. Key things to remember. You will never have to give money to get money. That's a scam. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that going around. Or you have just won a sweepstake, or we want your name to be entered into a sweepstakes, but it's only going to charge you $3.99 for shipping and handling. And I can't believe how many people fall for that. Yeah. Just don't. You're not going to get anything for free. There's no drills, no iPhones, no cars. You're not going to get it for free. Pressure to act immediately is a red flag. Resist the pressure. Tell them you are busy and you need to call them back. This is probably the biggest one for the older generation, just because there is such a pressure to hurry up, because they want to not let you think straight. Just give me your debit card number. We're fine. Don't give your personal information in response to a request that you did not initiate. Social Security isn't going to call you and ask you for all that information. Don't do it. Also, the last one, hang up. Call someone you trust before giving information. If it's a reputable company, they will understand your concern. Call us at the bank. Call me on my cell phone. Reach out to me on Facebook. It doesn't bother me to answer questions on any day of the week. So I think that those 4 things, put the phone down, take a breath, and then just try to, if this feels right, then go move forward with it. But if it doesn't, walk away.
Their whole goal is to make you feel vulnerable and all of that. So your guard's down, or
you're just so flustered. And the one that, I mean, with the customer that came in, she thought she was going to go to jail. She thought she had unpaid. It was just a really, really sad deal. And it makes me angry. One of the questions I thought you were going to ask me is that, have I ever been involved in a scam midway? No. And I wish I could be, because I would really like to talk to them. They are messing with my people and I don't like it.
The same urgency applies to those people over the phone. They can make it feel urgent on a computer too.
Yes.
Like if you accidentally download adware, makes your computer look like it's infected, but it's just adware. And then there's malware too. Don't quote me on that, IT, but sometimes it's just a scam to make you think something is wrong with your computer that sends off all these bells and whistles. It sounds urgent. Some people have even said, like, I closed it and it still is making noise. That same urgency applies there. Like, bring your computer in, call Canokla, whatever you need to do. I promise you that even if there is something wrong with your computer, we're not going to be charging you anything remotely like the damages that could happen if you go through with that.
It can also happen on your phone.
On top of that, another example of a scam is that you let those people on your computer to fix it, and then you've already got the Impact Bank or your
login information.
All of your login information is saved. Yeah. You go to it, and now we're seeing transfers being sent out ACH to other accounts but you literally let them in. So unintentionally, of course, but you let them in. So and then they're charging you $1,000 to fix the problem that never was even there.
There is no guarantee that you will get anything back. You could lose all of that. You could lose all of your personal information could be out there. There is no ultimate fix. So the more you can do to prevent it, or the awareness before that, that's the only thing that makes you safe.
I'm going to ask you guys a question now.
Oh,
yeah, no.
This is different.
So, I mean, we did have that. We partnered with you guys and had that little meeting down at Picarna. Do you think after reading all of this and all of my questions, maybe we should do it again?
Should do it again. We should have made it like an annual, quarterly, everything.
I think that we need to do that.
There's a whole month for cybersecurity awareness, but it is something ongoing, especially because the way people can be targeted. And all of the education is out there. If people look it up, I get that. But those face-to-face interactions, or doing this podcast in a new way, or any kind of video, getting it to where people are. And some people are only accessible in person.
Absolutely.
And we should keep doing that.
Yeah.
So why didn't you keep that going?
What happened?
Look at the pressure. It was really, really good. And it is something that I feel like we should probably do yearly, just as a refresher course. I do know that there is one of my customers has hang up the phone on her refrigerator at a girl. I hope she sees this.
Oh.
I think we should. I really, really liked that people were so into asking questions.
The more we talk about it, the more comfortable people will be. Even if they don't have your cell phone number, they still have resources like their own friends and family, because usually as soon as you talk it out with someone, you get out of that situation and you talk about it. We didn't stress enough then is that when you identify one of those, or if you think if you were scammed, or if you're about to be, you should report that scam. I don't think we're doing enough reporting. as we had the chief of police on here, to the FTC. FTC?
Federal Trade Commission, yeah.
Yeah.
FTC.
Which we will put that link so people know where to report that. Because I don't think we even put it on the magnet that we did.
I have to freshen that up. Okay, you have 30 seconds to give one piece of advice to everybody listening today. What would it be? What would you say to them?
The one thing that I would want everybody to take away from today is, one, you don't have to be on that phone conversation. Hang up. Don't give any information if you're uncomfortable about it. And that is your social security number, your debit card, anything. Don't do it. And then third, call your bank. Call your financial institution. Call your children. Call your mom. Go over the whole scenario before you proceed. And call us at the bank.
Call your local law enforcement. Don't be afraid of them.
Yeah.
They've handled this stuff too. So.
We are so excited when people call prior to a scam potentially happening, and we're grateful for that. So that would be my advice, is to call us.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having
It was
me.
very fun.
And we will see you October 22nd at the Senior Center.
To talk
Is
about
that the
this.
date?
Yes.
Okay.
Or we'll have our own little shindig after, because there's a lot of places we could plug into and get some more magnets.
Yes. These are very, very beneficial to our customers.
You still have some?
We have a couple, not very many. Don't get too excited. We give them out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get some more made.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sprucing up a little.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
And that's a wrap.